Fala pessoal, de boa, continuando a nossa gameplay do Starfield de onde paramos, com a história ali da Frota Escarlate, beleza? Bom, temos uma localização para seguir, que é ir nesta nave aqui que foi mandado pra gente, né, completar umas missões nela. Então bora lá, é só chegar na localização, acoplar a nave ali também, e primeiramente vamos conversar ali com o comandante dela, né, e bora lá.
About time you showed up. All right, I want to know what's going on. I've been trying to get Delgado's attention for, I don't know, 3 years now. And what do I get? Nothing but radio silence. Then out of nowhere, just when Neva and I are closing in on a huge score of our own, Delgado orders me to help you out. Oh, sure. First a tour, followed by a formal dinner at the captain's table. Let's get one thing straight. You're here for business, not for a vacation, so let's start by talking about Delgado's sudden olive branch. Because the only way to achieve a win is by agreeing to play the game in the first place. Worst case scenario, I don't make the fleet, but I end up a couple thousand credits richer. That's almost a win-win, don't you think? Yeah, I figured you'd say something like that. Just another one of Delgado's loyal little soldiers, huh? Fine, have it your way. So Neva's message said you were here for Dombrowski. Was that all she sent you here to do? Or was there something else you were sent here to steal? Don't play games with me. We both know pinging a message back and forth to the key is going to take longer than we have to do this job. We're supposed to be working together on every part of this. So, you gonna tell me what else you're here for or not? Oh, really? Did she now? I can't believe she's trying to cut me out of this deal. Without me, the award never would have ended up here in the first place. I spent months manipulating the Terran Preservation Society into hosting their gala affair aboard the Siren of the Stars. I had to arrange the event to make sure that the award was aboard the ship. Neva said she'd do the rest. When I got a message about Dombrowski, I assumed she'd be tagging along to steal the award. But looks like she sent you in her place. Yeah? Funny you're only bringing that up now. Fine, I'll help. But you're doing all the legwork, and I'm still taking my cut of the payout. Anyway, we'll get to that later. First, we have a much bigger fish to fry. So why are you targeting a Galbank exec anyway? Not exactly your average Crimson Fleet prey. Why the interest? Merchant vessels, transport, supply convoys, mining settlements, you get the picture. But taking on a megacorp, that's a really big deal. Something the Crimson Fleet stayed away from in the past. Sounds to me like Delgado's either getting desperate, or this is leading to an even bigger score down the road. His credentials. So you're hitting the Galbank branch in New Atlantis. Nice score, very lucrative and very dangerous. If you're going after a gold mine like that, I'll want to come along for the ride. Or you're not getting near Dombrowski.
Like him or not, he's the Siren's captain, so his assistance is going to be invaluable. Maybe we should hear what he has to say.
Well, It appears we have a mind reader here. You're absolutely right. I don't want money. I want back into the Crimson Fleet. It's as simple as that. Of course I do. But who wants to settle for a one-time payout? I prefer to play the long game. You see, getting my ass back into the fleet means I regain access to Shinya Boss. And that's as good as an endless stream of credits. You'd better, or you're gonna have to find another Galbank executive. As long as Dombrowski's on the ship, he's all mine. That's a disturbing way to put it. But I suppose that's the best offer I'm gonna get, so I'll take it. Dombrowski's a full-timer aboard the Siren of the Stars. Probably spends more time cruising the space lanes than actually working. Fortunately, the Siren is hosting the Terran Preservation Society charity gala. Larry won't be able to resist showing off his VIP clout. To get what you need, you're gonna have to attend the gala, talk to his fellow philanthropists, and dig up some dirt.
Oh God. I'd rather hunt down Varun's zealots than mingle with those egotistical frauds.
The event's a complete sham. Bunch of rich snobs getting together and throwing a party for themselves. These people couldn't give a damn about Terran preservation or any other charity for that matter. Someone with enough disposable income to afford a permanent six-figure cabin aboard one of Trident's finest spaceliners. Consider it similar to owning a luxury mobile vacation home. Plaything for the wealthy, you get the gist. Yeah, well, lucky for you, it's not black tie, so you'll be fine. This card will allow you to access the Starfield ballroom. If you need my help, I'll be relaxing in one of the upper-level lounges. Head inside and mingle with the crowd. No one likes Dombrowski, so they'll be more than happy to share his dirty secrets. He's a VIP executive, which means he either worked really hard using blood, sweat, and tears to make the arduous climb to the top, or he backstabbed, lied, cheated, and betrayed his way up the corporate ladder. From what I've heard, it's the second option. Now you're speaking my language. Oh, there's one last thing. Trident equips all of their starliners with the latest acoustic threat detection. Meaning that you lose patience and kill anyone aboard the ship, security will be alerted and all hell will break loose. Anyway, I suppose that's enough to get you started. Good luck. You seriously need to ask. Okay, I'll give you 2 reasons. First, Galbank protects their own. Kill Dombrowski, and they send Ecliptic after every Crimson Fleet ship they can find. Not something Delgado wants, I suspect. And second, you offer Galbank employee in every single Galbank facility in the settled systems will triple their security. I'm gonna guess that won't help with whatever your plans are regarding Galbank, now will it? They claim their goal is to celebrate the soul of the Earth, the culture, the people, and the ideals of the past. In their minds, Earth is now dead, which is why they feel that preservation of its remaining aspects is so important. In reality, this is what happens when folks with far too much time and far too much money get together to make themselves feel like they're contributing to society. As long as you remember that I'm getting paid my cut, I'll help you with anything you want. What's the status of your plan? I once saw Neva strip down a UC security ship and sell the parts back to the UC through a shell company. If that doesn't put your concerns to rest, I don't know what will. Now tell me, what about the status of your plan? How can I help? Okay, then let me point you to the person in charge of the award. Her name's Sheila Holbrook, and you can probably find her in the Starfield ballroom. I'd press her to reveal where the award's hidden, and we can go from there. And if you're thinking of pulling the trigger on poor Miss Holbrook, remember that any gunfire is gonna set off the ship's alarms. Oh, and while you're at the gala, avoid the canapes. They're frozen, not fresh.
Beleza, a partir deste momento a gente tá meio que liberado ali, né, pra explorar a nave e também seguir com as missões, tá? Porém, primeiramente vamos lembrar que a gente tem provas também pra ir buscando ali entre essas missões, tá? Tem esse detalhe e aqui dentro não é diferente também, certo? No lugar ali onde fica, né, vamos dizer assim, o quarto do comandante, a gente vai, né, entrar nele. Vamos ter ali um computador com algumas informações e dentro desse lugar também iremos encontrar um códice que tá ali na parte do quarto, né? Eu tava dando uma verificada para ver se encontrava mais alguma coisa de interessante, não tinha nada. Primeiramente vamos invadir esse computador aqui, só para mostrar para vocês um pouquinho ali, né, das informações que tem nele também, né? Porque querendo ou não a gente tá aqui. E, mano, eu não sei se eu vou vir de novo alguma vez, né, explorar. Como eu tô passando aqui nessa missão, muito possivelmente eu não vou querer voltar. Então, né, a gente tem algumas informações ali de comunicações da própria empresa e coisas pessoais dele também. Eu vou deixar um tempinho na tela aí pra quem quiser dar uma lida com calma. Só ir pausando o vídeo, né, porque querendo ou não são informações envolvendo ali um personagem dessa missão.
You certainly know your way around a computer system.
E aí, né, a gente entra no quarto, acaba encontrando ali o Códice, né, que é uma prova, tá, da ligação dele com o Delgado e a Frota Escarlate. Então, né, mano, a gente tem que levar. Aí depois eu ainda dei uma volta, dei uma explorada com calma, certo? Mas não tinha nada muito relevante não. Então eu já vou dar uma agilizada no processo e cortar pra área lá que a gente já vai ter interações com os personagens, né? Porque querendo ou não, esse é o ponto chave ali das missões, né? E, mano, ficar dando volta por aí, muita coisa não dá pra levar também, porque é considerado roubo. Então já deu pra entender a situação, né? Aí, enquanto eu tava explorando ali também, eu acabei encontrando mais um códice ali em cima da mesa também.
You're not going to find better tuned engines anywhere else in the settled systems.
Aí eu continuei caminhando um pouco mais ali pela nave também. Encontrei ali uma personagem que a gente tem interação, ela faz parte da missão também, mas ela citou algumas coisas bem legais ali.
Let me know if your voyage is unsatisfactory in any way. Glad to have you aboard. An excellent question. My responsibilities include all of the Siren's financial, customs, and commercial goods transfers. Honestly, I really enjoy the work. I get to meet people at every port of call instead of being constantly stuck below decks. Oh, absolutely. The safe is magnetically sealed and shielded with multiple layers of fully damage-resistant, vacuum-proof plating. In the unlikely event our vessel is boarded and the threat detection alarm is triggered, the safe will be permanently sealed until it reaches port. In the even more unlikely event this ship is destroyed, we can assure you that your loved ones will be able to recover your goods from the wreckage. So, as you can imagine, your property will be completely secure until you decide to retrieve them from our safe. I'm sorry, it's against Trident policy to discuss our personal feelings towards a fellow crewmate. I suppose. All right, but you didn't hear this from me. Do you understand? I don't want to lose my job. I like Captain Rokov, but I think he's mixed up with some very dangerous people. I was bringing some paperwork to his quarters one day, and I found a slate with a message he received from someone named Delgado. That would normally be fine, but the message mentions the Crimson Fleet, as in pirates. Can you believe it? If we want to grab it, the slate should still be in his quarters. Somewhere.
Então assim, a gente já viu que tem um troféu ali dentro, né? Que é um dos objetivos da missão. E a outra coisa é que ela também falou sobre o Códice, né? A prova que a gente acabou pegando, bem legal. Aí na área que a gente passa ali tinha vários quartos, né? Fechados. Só que a gente encontrou um ali que o pessoal tava limpando as coisas. Eu falei, ah mano, vou entrar só pra ver se tem algo aqui, né? Pra dar uma olhadinha, parece que, né, alguma coisa deu errado aqui com algum hóspede ali. Bem interessante essa parte.
It's large enough to accommodate a family of 12. God, what a ridiculous waste of space.
Due to an unfortunate accident, we're halting our spacewalk experience for an undetermined amount of time.
Ah, um códice ali também, ó. Bem interessante. Tranquilo. É de um passageiro aí, querendo ou não, é informação dessa nave aqui, né? Que aconteceu em algum momento aí. Beleza, aí a gente entra ali no salão de festa aqui, onde a gente vai começar a progredir na missão. Então, bora lá.
Is this important? I don't have a lot of time for idle nonsense. Yes, I'm extremely busy preparing for the award ceremony, so this better be important. Not at all. I was assured that this particular ship was outfitted with the absolute latest and cutting-edge security. I am completely confident that Trident Luxury Lines will keep all of us safe. Probably in a few days. I don't want the award transfer to actually occur until we're safely in orbit at our destination. Of course, if I keep getting interrupted, the ceremony might never take place at all. Yes, I am. Actually, I've been entrusted with the transfer of the award for the last 7 of its 9 years. Why do you ask? During my tenure? Oh, certainly not. There was an unfortunate incident where my predecessor attempted to sell the award to the highest bidder, but that was quickly resolved. Needless to say, they'll be spending the rest of their life in a UC prison. Well, the Earth Savior Award is one of a kind. The Blue Diamonds alone are irreplaceable. Since we can't produce a new award every year, it's instead passed from one recipient to the next. I supervise the transfer and make certain that there's ample security during transport and at the destination. In my cabin? Oh, please. Why would I do something so foolish? I'll have you know that the award is locked inside the master safe, located at the purser's office. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have much more important things on my agenda than to speak to the likes of you.
Beleza, aí a gente precisa começar as interações ali com as pessoas que estão aqui nessa festa. Várias vai estar só com o nome de visitante ali mesmo, tá? Eu pensei que era pra procurar aí por nomes específicos, mas não, mano, é pra sair perguntando ali, porque alguns desses visitantes vai te dar informação, tá? Então, mano, pode perguntar pra qualquer um que uma hora vai dar bom.
Here for business or pleasure?
So, what brings you aboard? I don't know why Larry's attending this event. He could care less about any planet, let alone the Earth.
Are you a member of the Society? An open bar would have been nice, but Trident's gouging us for every credit we've got. Dombrowski is married to some poor woman that he constantly leaves behind in New Atlantis when he goes on his business trips.
His behavior towards women is abominable. That man really ought to be ashamed of himself. Don't forget to donate to the cause.
I heard he uses Galbank's VIP suite on the Siren of the Stars almost monthly. Does the man ever do any real work?
He's been spending a lot of time with Claudia Swist. Quality time, if you catch my meaning. I'm certain his wife doesn't know a thing about it.
Aí a partir desse comentário a gente já precisa conversar com a Cláudia ali, porque os NPC vai começar a repetir toda hora a mesma coisa, tá? Então vai direto nela.
Sorry, do I know you? Okay, wait, are you seriously, are you trying to pick me up? Look, I appreciate the compliment, but I'm already seeing someone, and my partner doesn't like competition. He gets very jealous. His wife? Oh, for the love of God. I told Larry to keep his big mouth shut, but did he listen? No. He had to impress his friends and treat me like a trophy. Look, I've been in this business for a long time, and I know how this game works, so let's skip all the banter and get it over with. What's it gonna take to make us both happy? You're not very bright, are you? I'm a grade C3 exec at Galbank. That means my credentials get me into two places, the front door and the ladies' room. If that's all you really want, you're certainly welcome to them. You're willing to pay me to give you dirt on Larry? Sorry, I thought I'd end up on the short end of the deal. You know, this whole thing really pisses me off. Larry and I had the perfect scheme where thousands of credits all worked out, and then he goes and flushes the whole thing down the toilet.
If you're angry at anybody, it should be yourself for getting mixed up in this ridiculous scheme in the first place.
Judge me all you want, lady. At this point, If I'm going down, then all I'm focused on is dragging Larry down with me. I didn't know who the hell you were. For all I knew, you were working for Dombrowski. It's called playing it cool. You should try it sometime. I'm not gonna tell you. Let's just say that I'd be sent to prison for a long time if Galbank figured it out. Oh, angry isn't even the right word. The plan was solid. Larry got together with myself and this other guy, Gabriel Vera. He's some bigwig over at UC Security. I doctored the transactions, Larry wiped them off the system, and Vera kept the legal pressure off of us. We were scamming Galbank for months. It was going well until I discovered Larry was cheating everyone by changing each transaction in his favor before deleting them. Oh, I know he was using me. At the same time, he was saying how much he loved me. He was stringing me along and stabbing me in the back. I was going to confront him back on Jemison, but then he invited me on this little trip through the stars. All expenses paid, first-class accommodations, the works. I figured, why not wait until I've milked him for every credit he's spending before I drop the hammer? You won't do that. You're here because you've got some kind of side hustle in the works. If you wanted to blow the whistle, you would have boarded this ship with the authorities. I wish I had some. Maybe you should try talking to Gabriel Vera. He should be around here somewhere. If he doesn't want to cooperate, just mention my name. That should grab his attention. Good luck. You're gonna need it. What, are you writing a damn novel? Fine. Vera works for UC Security, so he kept a lookout on their comnet for any Galbank chatter. I guess you could call him our early warning system. And Dombrowski made sure that all of the crypto manipulation I was working on didn't turn up in Galbank's automatic audits. You need top clearance for that kind of access, so we had to cut him in, whether we liked it or not. What do you think is going on? I'm using that gullible idiot to get what I want. If I have to squash him on my way to the top, then so be it. Let's get one thing straight. Larry Dombrowski's no saint. He deserves everything that's coming to him.
I agree. You sound absolutely furious at that horrible excuse for a human being.
Oh, I'm beyond rage. And if you've been as close to him as I have, you'd agree. Dombrowski is a piece of human garbage. He'd stab you in the back for table scraps, then stab you again to steal dessert. The plan's always been to milk the guy for everything he's worth, and then leave him in the dust. Not bad for a lowly Galbank worker drone, right? I wrote a computer algorithm that basically creates a randomized number of false ghost credits that mimic the crypto key of actual credits. Then the algorithm simply passes the ghost credits to whatever legit transfers that the bank transacts. The genuine credits enter a dummy account. The best part is that I also alter the crypto keys as the real cash flows into our accounts. By the time it lands in our pockets, the creds are clean. So, on paper, it appears that all of the bank's transactions are covered, when it's really just our ghosted dummy creds. Genius, right? I hope you hurt Dombrowski. Nail his ass right to the wall.
Beleza, a gente já conseguiu progredir em um dos objetivos e agora vamos voltar lá numa mina aqui que a gente já conversou com ela para progredir com o outro objetivo da missão também, tá?
On behalf
This must be where the passengers store their valuables while the siren is underway.
Welcome to the Purser's office. I'm Chief Purser Murata. How can I be of assistance today? I've only seen it briefly myself, but I can assure you that it's quite lovely. Unfortunately, the item is locked inside of our safe, which can only be accessed by presenting an appropriate claim ID. Is there anything else I can assist you with today?
Beleza, então a gente vai precisar ali adquirir a chave de acesso aqui para ver o prêmio, né? Então vamos voltar lá pro salão de festa e conversar também com uma das personagens que gerencia aqui a parte do prêmio, que a gente já sabe quem é, né?
Quite a lovely starliner.
Must you continue these unwelcome interruptions? I'm a very busy woman. Excuse me? And why in goodness name would I do something as foolish as that? And why in goodness name would I possibly agree to that ridiculous demand? I wish I could, but if anybody found out I told you... Look, I'd like to help, but... I hope I can trust you. Yeah, I hope so. Maybe so. Oh, just take the damn thing already. Listen, maybe you can keep this between us. If the award goes missing, there's no need for the insurance company to get involved.
Beleza, né? Então assim, a gente teve que ir na base da persuasão, porém não foi algo tão complicado, né? Mas ainda assim eu recomendo dar um save antes ali, porque vai que, né, dá uma merda. Aí possivelmente a missão teria que gerar algum outro esquema pra tu conseguir essa chave de acesso aí. E bom, voltamos, né, quer dizer, para o cofre. E a gente vai ter acesso aqui à localização. E mano, o valor do bagulho pelo menos é alto, né, velho? Tá dentro dessa maleta aí. Interessante pra caramba, né? E agora a gente vai progredir ali também com as outras partes ali da missão, tá? As portas vão ficar abertas, entendi. Que beleza, hein? Ô, Starfield, pequenos detalhes, né? Dá pra fechar a porta do cofre ali, ia ser interessante também, né? Pra imersão, né? Mas beleza, bora continuar com a missão lá.
You look a bit lost in these surroundings. Hello? You here for the charity event? Oh, absolutely. I'm a firm believer that attending these types of events tends to absolve one of their sins and cleanse their soul. But something tells me you're not really here to discuss the event. What did you really want to talk about? Dombrowski, he's the exec holding court over in the VIP area of the ballroom. Yeah, sorry, I work for UC Security, not Galbank. I don't really know him personally. To be honest, I'm here to keep an eye on the charity event. It might not be as glamorous an assignment as a colony rescue or taking down some criminals, but anything that keeps the peace is important to me. What is this all about, anyway? You mean specifically? Oh, I work for the Corporate Fraud Division. We monitor all of the major megacorp financials and transactions to ensure that nothing improper occurs. You're asking a lot of strange questions. What exactly do you want? Claudia sent you, did she? Look, friend, I don't know if you're just a little drunk, maybe a touch crazy, or both. Whatever you think you know about me, you're dead wrong. So back off.
You're a liar and an absolute disgrace to the United Colonies.
don't test me. You have no idea how high up the chain I am with UC security. Not only can I make you disappear, I can also make sure the settled systems forget you existed in the first place. Just in case you weren't aware, I am the authorities. Anything you try to report will boil down to your word against mine. And since I work for UC Security, who do you think people will believe?
Beleza, a gente precisa voltar lá no comandante, então o opcional ali é matar o cara lá do Galbank, mas é melhor não, tá? A gente vai fazer sem eliminar ele, porque um dos pré-requisitos desde o início é não matar ninguém.
I saw your little exchange with Vera. Keep that up and I guarantee that imbecile's gonna demand that you be arrested. Oh, absolutely. He's up the ladder at UC Security. Lots of pull. We have to handle this very delicately. Which is why he's threatening you. That makes sense. We need hard evidence of their scheme. But it's gonna be tricky. The problem is he's not gonna talk to you in public. We need to get Vera isolated so he'll spill everything he knows. Yeah, that's smart. Kill Vera, or anyone else involved in his conspiracy, and then Dubrovsky heads for the hills. Besides, you really want to ace a member of UC Security and have them breathing down your neck? You'll be the top story on SSNN. No. There has to be a safer way. Maybe. But if something goes wrong, and he's able to raise an alarm, we're sunk. With all of these wealthy patrons aboard, the ship is crawling with security. Smart. If there's an emergency, standard practice is for all passengers to clear the decks and report to their cabins for lockdown. I think the best chance we have would be to tamper with the life support sensors. Manipulate a few controls, and you can fool the monitoring system into thinking there's a life support failure. And there you have your emergency. This is one of Trident's premier starliners. That means it has the best of everything, including a triple redundancy life support system. They installed a backup for the backup. Luckily for us, it will still trip an emergency and everyone will have to return to their quarters until I sound the all clear, which I won't.
Whatever it takes. He's talking about tampering with the only system keeping everyone on this ship alive.
Don't worry. It'll be as easy as it was mingling with the guests at the party. Just throw a few lousy switches and you're done. One more thing. If Chief Engineer Sundin gives you any trouble, tell him I'll erase that gambling debt he owes me. I prefer you use that as a last resort, but hey, what's the harm in losing a few credits when I'm on the brink of rejoining the fleet, right? Anyway, I better start packing. Things are getting hot around here, and won't be long before Trident figures out you had help. On the surface, he's an upstanding citizen of the United Colonies, pretty high up in UC security. Lots of clout with mast. Underneath, he's a greedy piece of garbage. Given the chance, he'd backstab you for a cred stick and pin the murder on someone else. Come to think of it, if he wasn't such a petty tyrant, he'd probably thrive with the Crimson Fleet. All passengers are instructed to immediately report to their cabins. That way, we keep the halls clear and avoid a panic. Fortunately for us, all of the passenger cabin doors will automatically unlock. This is normally to ensure the crew can check cabins quickly and without interference. But in our case, it's like having an all-access pass. There's access to the crew section that you can reach through the Starfield ballroom. Chief Sundin should be there, wasting time at his station as usual. Have fun with that guy. He's a real piece of work. Once you're past Sundin, just look for the room marked Environmental Control. Everything you need is inside. Get back to it.
Beleza, né? Então, bora lá botar o plano dele aqui. É o capitão da nave, né, mano? Ele nem ia dar um plano pro bagulho implodir com todo mundo dentro e ele junto, né? Então, beleza, vamos seguir esse plano. A Sarah também não gostou nada disso, mas é coisa que acontece, né? É como eu disse ali, dependendo do compênio e, mano, de quem vai estar te acompanhando, mano, já deu pra entender a situação, né? Vai ter partes que vai concordar e não também, então acontece bastante ali na gameplay, certo? E bora lá então, né? Conversar com uma pessoa ali que gerencia essa área aqui e vamos lá.
Hold up. This area is off limits to passengers. Wait a second. You're Captain Rokov's guest, right? Didn't expect to see you down here. Sorry to give you trouble. What can I do for you? Yeah, a little. A few of the techs call this deck the dungeon. I think you can see why. Not exactly Starliner-class comfort down here. Don't get me wrong. The quiet gives me time to gather my thoughts, catch up on work, and all that, but I'd rather work on the bridge. I'm the Siren's chief engineer. Trident put me in charge of the entire tech team. We do our best to keep the ship running smoothly and efficiently. Of course, this beauty is a cutting-edge piece of spacecraft design. Almost everything has triple redundancy, like the life support system. Unfortunately, that means there's quite a bit of downtime. Could be worse though, right? Oh, sorry, that area's off limits. No exceptions. No, sorry, I'm afraid it's impossible. Trident regulations strictly prohibit anyone from entering the life support area without a valid reason. Look, I'm not trying to be a jerk here, it's just that I could lose my job, you know? Oh, really? Well, that changes things quite a bit. Tell you what, I'm just going to step out for a bit and stretch my legs. Maybe you can hold this for me while I'm away?
Beleza, né? Então, eu dei um leve corte aqui também, porque ele fica repetindo diálogos que ele mesmo já falou ali, né? Eu até cliquei de novo pra ver, parecia que eu não tinha visto ainda, mas não, ele só repetiu mesmo, tudo que ele já falou, mas beleza, tranquilo. Aí ele dá uma saidinha ali, a gente faz aquela interação no computador. Claramente a gente tem algumas informações aqui também, além de fazer ali o acesso, a localização e continuar a missão. Tá, eu vou deixar um tempinho na tela para quem quiser dar uma lida com calma aí na situação também. E bora lá, né? Temos 3 marcações ali, pelo jeito a gente vai ter que desativar todas elas. É isso mesmo. Da hora, parou ali a ventoinha. Bem legal. Beleza, bora lá então.
All passengers, may I have your attention please? The captain has declared a ship-wide emergency. Please report to your cabins in an orderly fashion and remain there until you receive further instructions.
Well, it appears that we've definitely ruined the party. Everyone's gone.
I was wondering if you were the cause of the ship-wide emergency. It's time you stop playing games and tell me why you're here. Doesn't take a genius to deduce you're the one that's responsible. I locked onto you from the moment you entered the ballroom, and I've watched you trying to clock Dombrowski. After we spoke, I had a feeling you'd pull a stunt
All
like this.
passengers, may I have your attention, please? The captain has declared a ship-wide emergency. Please report to your cabins in
I always
orderly
took him for a
fashion
fool.
and remain
I
there
can't
until
believe
you
he's
receive
stupid
further
enough to have gotten
instructions.
mixed up with the Crimson Fleet. Still, why would I possibly want to incriminate myself by handing over any evidence? Don't act so surprised. You didn't really think I'd make a deal with Claudia or Dombrowski without having a little insurance policy of my own, did you? Huh? If I've learned anything in my years at the Corporate Fraud Division, it's always have an exit strategy. Claudia said that. You sure? Damn it! That means my money's already gone. And Dombrowski's going to walk away with a fortune. I'm not gonna lie to you, I don't want to end up on the Crimson Fleet shit list. But if I give you that information and it falls into the wrong hands, I'll end up in jail. This is a lose-lose situation for me. Oh, I've got everything you're gonna need. This is a one-stop shop for you. We're talking a slate loaded with dates, account numbers, ID scans, even an audio recording. It was my little insurance policy in case the shit hit the fan. There's a solid enough trail here to send Dombrowski straight to jail.
All passengers.
Dombrowski had the authorization to wipe out records on Galbank's system without raising any red flags. I let Claudia talk me into that. She said she had him wrapped around her finger. Apparently, she was wrong. At least I walk away with something. All right, you have yourself a deal. Here, with this slate and this recording to tie it all together, you'll be able to nail his ass to the wall. He'll do whatever you want. Just remember that you promised to leave me out of it. Well, since Claudia has been spending time disgustingly close to Dombrowski, I think she's suffered enough. On the other hand, I've got very, very special plans for Larry. I have some friends that can, well, let's just say, take care of the problem. That's if you leave him alive, of course. We'll just have to wait and see. All I can tell you is that there's more than a few people at Mast who find Commander Akande to be a huge pain in the ass. I mean, the UC is aware that the Crimson Fleet is a problem, but it pales in comparison to the issues with the Freestar Collective. Akande's loaded with big-picture ideas, but not a ton of evidence to put them into action. And frankly, it's driving my superiors crazy. Just because I'm helping you nail Dombrowski doesn't mean I'm turning my back on UC security. How else am I going to ensure that he ends up behind bars when all this comes crashing down? No. You can leave me out of your merry little band of pirates, thank you very much.
Please report to your cabins in an orderly fashion.
All I can tell you is that there's more than a few people at Mast who find Commander Akande to be a huge pain in the ass. I mean, the UC is aware that the Crimson Fleet is a problem, but it pales in comparison to the issues with the Freestar Collective. Akande's loaded with big-picture ideas, but not a ton of evidence to put them into action. And frankly, it's driving my superiors crazy. You better tell Dombrowski to run, because if you don't kill him, I will.
Beleza, né? Então a gente acabou recebendo um códice ali também, que é outra prova, tá? Seguindo a linha de não matar ninguém, certo? E aí eu vou mostrar ele aqui pra vocês.
transaction is in progress as we speak. You should expect your profits from our venture soon. You must be patient.
No way, Larry. This is not what we agreed. You said the money would be in our accounts by the 1st of the month.
Give it a rest. It isn't like we're making regular withdrawals. If things aren't done carefully, it'll trip an audit. Is that what you want?
Of course not. But we're risking our asses here, and we've seen what, maybe 5, 8% tops? We were promised a third of the final figure.
And, as promised, when all is said and done, that's exactly what you'll receive. You must understand, we're absconding with an inordinately vast amount of capital from Galbank's coffers. Eventually, the shortfall will be discovered. As Claudia has so eloquently stated, if the transactions aren't siphoned at a reasonable rate, the audit team will be dispatched and our plan ruined. Give it time, my friend. You'll get your share, a third for each of us, as promised.
A third of 500,000 credits. Can't you just taste it? I think I'm gonna head straight for Neon with my share, put myself up at the Hotel Voli, and blow a shitload of money at the Astral Lounge. You'll come with me, won't you, Larry? I don't want to spend all that cash alone.
Of course, my darling. I can't think of a finer way to spend our time together.
Oh, look, I'm gonna lay this all on the line. You have 2 more weeks to make this happen, or we're gonna have a problem. 2 weeks, Dombrowski. That's it.
Well, well. You must be the one who's been accosting Claudia and Gabriel. I'm uncertain what you hope to accomplish here, but it appears we should rapidly enter into some sort of negotiation.
All passengers, may I have your attention, please? The captain has
You don't
declared
actually believe that I'd venture into such precarious criminal territory without a proper bird's-eye view of the situation, do you? I'm uncertain why you've become entangled in this spider's web, but this situation demands swift and resolute action. Excellent, excellent. So, before we begin, let's review the facts. First, it's clear that you've obtained insider knowledge of my arrangement to defraud Galbank. The means and the method, perhaps, but not the motive. And second, I'm going to hypothesize that my compatriots are despondent regarding their share and have assisted you with this endeavor. Since we're speaking and I'm not at the reporting end of a bullet, this leads me to conclude that you desire something personal from me. You may as well ask, is it necessary for the sun to set on Jemison, or for one to wear a pressure suit when entering the vacuum of space? I pride myself on having an intensely thorough education, though I'd hardly call myself a professor. Though I'm sure that your compliment also meant you were having trouble understanding what I've been saying. In blunt terms, you have compromising materials about me in your possession. The only thing I have to offer in return are my Galbank credentials. I assume that's what you've been angling for all along?
Oh, do get on with this. There's only so long I can stand being in the presence of this pig.
Well, I'm surprised you even posed that question at all. The answer is quite obvious. The last thing I'd want to do at this point is call attention to myself. Obviously, that wouldn't be my preference, but I have little choice. Though Larry Dombrowski will be mysteriously vanishing after this cruise, and possession of the credentials becomes ludicrous at that point. Splendid. It appears we've reached an accord. Wait, I'm sorry. Let me simplify that for you. It sounds like we have a deal. Oh, of course, I trust you'll understand if I ask for us to avoid any further contact. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to formulate how I'm going to utterly ruin two very annoying business associates. Good day.
Well, looks like everything worked out, just like we planned. I wish you hadn't blown away the gambling debt that Sandine owed me. But hey, you got the job done. I'm glad you feel that way. Just remember to tell Delgado how much I pitched in to help. You know, I'm still wondering exactly what you needed those credentials for. You feel like telling me, partner? I usually have a nose for these things, but in your case, it's a mystery. Very frustrating. Whatever the case may be, it's apparently worth risking your life over. That's telling me it involves a lot of money. That also means I want in. Crick's legacy. Are you serious? I heard Delgado was spinning that yarn, but I thought it was more of a hobby with him. Have things really gotten that desperate? Anyway, I suppose there's nothing stopping me from rejoining the fleet now. It's been a long time coming. I owe you one, Overreach.
All passengers.
Don't worry, it's not an insult. It's a very old Russian word for comrade. It's what I intend to call you from now on, so get used to it.
Your cabins in an orderly fashion and remain there until you receive further
Nonsense.
instructions.
If there's one universal constant you can depend on, it's that Yevgeny Rokov always makes good on his deals. Always. Well, I suppose this is where we part company. Hopefully the next time we meet, we'll be aboard the Key.
Beleza, pessoal, então a gente precisa ali seguir para a Nova Atlântida, né? Eu já fui cortando ali entre os personagens mesmo, porque a maioria das coisas ali fica entre só diálogos, né, mano? Nem é tanta exploração ali nessa nave. A gente veio aqui no Galbank e bora lá, né? Que é a sede em Nova Atlântida, tá? Precisamos subir lá para a parte dos arquivos. E agora vamos conversar com o guarda ali, né? Pra continuar a missão. Beleza, né? Bora lá.
Hello, welcome to the Galbank archives. May I see your credentials, please? Oh no, none at all. I'm all alone down here. Yeah, yep, completely by myself. Well, I guess you're down here too, right? So that's two of us now. Sorry, not trying to lie to you or anything, just, yeah. Oh, no. No, this is just their deep storage facility. All the current records are upstairs in the main facility. This is where they put the older data onto long-term servers. Just one moment while I verify. Oh, yes, Mr. Dombrowski. Welcome, sir. Give me a moment to log your visit, and then I'll unseal the archives. No, never, not at all. I'm so sorry. Hey, look, please don't mention this to my supervisor, okay? She'll give me a low rating, and I'm gonna end up scrubbing floors. How the hell did you know that? Look, Ecliptic busted in here and said something about letting you walk into the archives, and then they're gonna jump you. I'm supposed to let you in, and then get the heck out of here. They said if I didn't do exactly what they said, they'd kill me. Just be careful. I don't even know how many of them are hiding in there.
Beleza, né? Então, Numa parte da missão ali a gente vai ter um pouquinho de gameplay, né? Chegou o momento, bora. Vamos entrar ali então na parte dos arquivos também aqui do Galbank, certo? Uma área restrita. E é uma emboscada ali, né? De caçadores de recompensa, vamos dizer assim. Pelo jeito, alguém armou aqui pra gente, mas de boa, né? Não sei se queriam realmente matar a gente ou o cara lá, né? Tem esse detalhe, então bora. Deixa eu ver aqui, dá uma analisada rápida. Errei os tiros tudo, hein? Que beleza. Vou passar pra cá. Ó, o maluco tá ali. Foi. Cadê? Aê, caralho. Pensei que nem ia acertar não, mano. Deu um tiro na parede ali, velho. Ó o cara ali. Aê, deu bom. Tá em cima? Tá em cima, pera aí. Nossa senhora, pera aí que esse aí é fortão. Caralho, o maluco indo pro lado pro outro ali, só me faltava essa. Ah, você tá tirando que o bagulho do efeito tá acertando aqui, sendo que eu tô no meio do buraco, atirando o cara. Tá merda, né? Bom, vou usar mecânica, pera aí. Quase não uso, mas mecânica de cover às vezes ajuda. Vai, filhão, vamos, vamos, vamos. E tem tiro, hein, filho? Tem tiro pra dar ainda, viu? Já era. Agora acabou. Beleza. Deu bom. Um pouquinho de gameplay, né? Faz parte. Depois de uma missão que é mais anda e conversa. Mas é da hora, mano. A interação com os personagens ali. A missãozinha em si tá bem interessante, tá ligado? A parte da frota tá muito legal. Tô curtindo o game, mano. Tô curtindo. Padrão Bethesda, né? Sempre vai ter altos e baixos, e é isso aí. Bom, primeiramente vamos aqui nas informações, né? A gente vai ter que copiar ali tudo direitinho, tanto para mostrar pra frota, como também lá pros caras da UC, tá? Então, como padrão, eu vou deixar um pouquinho na tela aí pra vocês também. Beleza, né? E aí a gente precisa dar uma voltinha e uma geral aqui também pra pegar ali as coisas, né, dos caras ali, né, mano? Parte de munição, ver se tem alguma coisa legal aí no corpo de alguém. Eita porra! Meu amigo, vai dar merda. Eu não tinha essa arma aqui ainda. Lendária. Depois eu vou dar uma olhadinha nos mods dela ali, organizar, ó, lá tá 06, mano, vai dar merda. Depois eu vou ajeitar aqui também porque eu tô pesado, deve ter alguma arma ali pra me jogar fora, né, porque, porra, aproveitar que eu vim pra Nova Atlântida aqui depois de mó tempão, já vou dar uma geralzinha no inventário, guardar umas coisas ali, porque tá foda, você vai fazendo missão, pegando coisa, arrecadando coisa, que tá pouco, filhão. Já tô levando 300 armas e não tô usando, mano, nem metade. É tipo isso. E bom, nessa parte a gente já acabou tudo, tá? É só voltar lá pra chave e bora, né? Continuar com a missão e encerrar com ela também.
Your buddy Rokov is aboard the Key. Told me everything that happened.
Yeah, he won't shut up about you. Keeps going on and on. Now I remember why we kicked his ass out the fleet. Yeah, that'd be a first.
All right, Neva, you've made your point. Well, since you're vouching for Rokov, I guess we can give him another chance. All right, now that is out of the way, we can move on to the matter at hand. Crix's legacy. Speaking of which, let me see that data you copied from the Galbank archives. Ah, so the Galbank transport went down over Bannock 4. Bannock. Why does that sound familiar? Neva?
Yeah, keep your panties on. I'm looking it up. And I got it. Bannock 4. Let's see. Damn it. Bannock 4 is an EM-class gas giant. We can't even get a ship near the thing without frying every circuit aboard.
EM class? Impossible. There isn't a ship in operation that can navigate that type of interference.
Don't know that one, huh? Well, pick up your pencil. There's gonna be a test on this later. EM class means the planet is giving off a ridiculously high amount of electromagnetic radiation. We're talking off the charts here. Fly your ship anywhere near one of these death traps, and you'll blow every single circuit on your ship. You'd be dead in space. Get it? Yeah, sure. We'll just wrap your ship in a ton of copper and launch you right in there. That ought to do the trick, right?
Both of you shut up and think for a second. I'm sure Crix hit the same roadblock. All we need to do is figure out how he got around it.
This sounds like a goddamn waste of time to me.
No, this all makes sense. The data says the transport went down over Bannock 4, carrying currency during the Narian War. There were ships fighting across the entire galaxy back then. It's not that hard to believe this one got lost that far out from home. That's the spirit, Rook. That is the essence of the Crimson Fleet that has been slipping away lately. Neva, the Galbank data says the transport had a CBR-27 transponder. Can we track that kind of thing? Pinpoint its exact location?
That transponder is military grade. We're talking ultra-bit encryption, constantly reshuffling frequencies. We don't have shit like that laying around. But before you get that pissy look on your face, I heard that the UC's been working on a ship signal decryption system called the ComSpike. We grab that little beauty, and we'll be able to track anything you want.
All right, here is the plan, so shut up and listen. Rook, I want you and Neva to put your heads together and get us that ComSpike. I don't care if it's mounted at the top of mast. I want it. In the meantime, I'm going to find out more about this EM-class gas giant problem. And I think I know just who to ask.
Give me a little time to crunch the numbers on the ComSpike with Jazz, and I'll point us in the right direction.
We do or we die. That's the way Crix did things. And that is the way we should have been doing it for years. It's as simple as that.
I promise. You gonna write that in your diary, little girl?
All right, that is enough. We are in arm's reach of Crix's legacy, and I don't have time to deal with this kind of bullshit. Now, both of you, get the hell out of here and get to work.
All right, let's get this over with. Follow me. All right, let's get right to it. Did you get the Earth Savior Award, or am I gonna be very disappointed? Well, that's because you'd be absolutely right. You see, everyone above you in the fleet is making more than you are off the same gig. That's why we're all fighting our way to the top. Understood? Good. Now, you might want to hand over that award before I have you tossed off the key. Just a thought.
First of all, this is my section of the key, so I'm gonna stand here for as long as I want. And second of all, I know all about that award and your deal with Neva. We don't keep secrets between us. Just throttle down and give her the damn thing already so we can get to work.
Well, well, look at that. You followed my directions, and now you're gonna end up with some credits in your pocket. Of course, it would have been more money if you hadn't blabbed about the damn thing to Rokov, but that's on you. Anyway, here's your cash. Keep this up, and I might even start respecting you. All right, Fleet? We've all got work to do, so let's get to it.
Bom, a gente tinha opções de ficar com o item ou não, mas de boa, né? Bora lá.
So I heard there was a bit of excitement on the Siren of the Stars. Your handiwork, I assume? Nice work. Any specific evidence you picked up regarding criminal activity should be given to Lieutenant Toft after the debriefing.
If the evidence pans out, you can visit those alleged criminals in our brig the next time you stop by the Vigilance. But for now, what do you have on Delgado and his little ragtag group of pirates? We told you we'd be keeping tabs on you. So, did you get information for us or not?
Yes, and I heard there were no casualties. Excellent work.
Except for the eclectic hit squad that you took down at the archives. We've taken care of that mess, by the way.
Speaking of which, I assume you copied the information from the Galbank's computers. Let me see what you got. So the legacy went down at Bannock 4. Bannock 4. Why does that sound familiar, Toft?
Bannock 4 is an EM-class gas giant, sir. There isn't a ship in the fleet that could safely get near that type of world. The Bannock system was the site of a significant battle during the Narian War. I had to do a research paper on the subject at the Academy. It sounds like you admire that lunatic. I think his gospel's gone straight to your head. Maybe we made a mistake choosing you for this assignment.
That's enough, Lieutenant. Even if Delgado has an immediate solution to the EM problem, there's still the matter of tracing the Legacy's transponder signal. Of course I am. We don't really have a choice in the matter. There are no shortcuts. The route you're taking to secure Crix's legacy for the Crimson Fleet is the only one at our disposal. If you suddenly change your behavior, they'll know something's wrong. I realize it's difficult, but I urge you to stay the course for now. In the meantime, we'll formulate a plan to ensure the Crimson Fleet doesn't get their hands on that money. I'm not certain. Galbank uses their own proprietary transponder system. Even a ship as old as the Legacy would be a challenge to trace. And even if we could find the ship, we don't have anything strong enough to resist those levels of EM radiation. Unfortunately, we're hampered by the same obstacles as the Crimson Fleet. They have information about the comm spike? Damn it.
I'm afraid I'm not familiar with that device, sir.
No, you shouldn't be familiar with it. It's a highly classified project. It's an advanced signal decryption and tracking device that the UC Navy's been working on for years. How the hell did the Crimson Fleet find out about that?
There must be an information leak somewhere, sir. It's the only thing that makes sense. I'll see what I can find out.
Fine. This is what we're going to do. You keep playing along and go after the comm spike. Lieutenant Toft and I will see what we can find out about Bannock 4. My superiors are stubborn. They aren't going to authorize an attack on the key based on my flights of fancy, I've been told. We need more evidence that all the Crimson Fleet's plans will result in them actually getting their hands on this fabled cache of credits. I don't see the point. The Crimson Fleet apparently has a pipeline of information flowing from somewhere within the UC military. Any attempt to move the comm spike would be a waste of time. We need to play this close to the vest. Perfect. Just stick with the plan and we'll see who gets to Crix's legacy first.
Beleza, com isso a gente encerrou mais essa missão aqui. Já estamos bem no finalzinho do vídeo, porém eu vou entregar as provas ali pra gente já receber XP e dinheiro extra também, né?
This mission is going to require discretion on a number of fronts. Anything new to report? I know as much as you do. I wasn't briefed on this particular device. But if the fleet wants to trace the Legacy's transponder signal, they'll need something beyond the decryption tech we have currently. If such a device exists, it's likely being developed by the UC. That information is classified, so even what I do know, I can't divulge. Now, I realize as part of this mission, you'll probably end up finding out anyway, but that's besides the point. For the sake of your cover, it's best you work with whatever information the fleet gives you. Nice work. Let me take a look. Are you kidding me? Dombrowski was already making a 6-figure salary, and yet he couldn't resist starting an embezzlement scheme. It makes me sick. Ah, it's gonna be an absolute pleasure to throw his butt in prison. That it? Tisk, tisk. Looks like Mr. Rokov lied on his application to Trident Luxury Lines about having a clean record. No matter. Next time he jumps from the key, we'll have him picked up. That will be one less fleet captain for us to worry about. Have any more? All right. Keep up the good work. I'll be here if you have any more questions.
E é isso aí. Se gostou, deixa o like, se inscreva no canal. Valeu, falou!